Oh, okay. I'll wait for y'all. It's all good. Uh, Bam. Gotcha. Okay. I'm here, and it looked like y'all here. Well, somebody's here. Um, I guess that's you, Kamoyo. Hello and welcome, sir. Yes, I've got the tea, so we gonna drop some tea. Sort of. If that makes sense. And it should. Ha 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 ha. Ah, thank you, Kamoyo. Thank you for that warm, warm welcome. Synonyms is in here. That's all I need in here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Sipping my tea, which I made myself. Um, all right. Breaking news. Well, not so breaking, but breaking news. Oh, by the way, Kamoyo, Greg Burnham and Marcus the Visual were doing a live over on Instagram, and I dropped your AI to him, so I had to rush over here because I was caught up in they live, but I'll see what he said. I'll hit him like after this to see what he said about it. But when I told him about it in the chat, he was like, "Oh, I want to see that," like he was like excited to see it. So we'll see. We'll see what pop with that. I know that has absolutely nothing to do with the deep dive, but my man's and them is up in here. And if I can touch bases with folks that actually created this art or that we're paying homage to in our AI renderings, so much the better. I mean, 3 of them so far. I've directly contacted and said, "Hey, my man's and them over here made this thing. I'm gonna send it to you. What's up?" And they usually be like, "That shit was dope," So y'all keep doing what you're doing. People see it. And my skill is being the connector. Actually, I think I read that somewhere in like an algorithm or something. I'm the connect, but yeah, I mean it's accurate. I am a connector. I connect people with other people. I connect people with the people. But here I go again. Let me stop. Salute to both of them in the line. Tyreek, hello and welcome to the deep dive. Um, say you love the last issue of Ultimate Black Panther. Okay. you 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 might not have much fun in here, but but qualifier, it ain't just people tearing down stuff. Is people, and that ain't even what we here for. That's just part of what we here for, because we also got this and this, and we're gonna talk about those too. But let's just get into this. But before we get into this, I want to read something to y'all that was sent to me by Kamoyo. I think it was yesterday or Monday, but It's about the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And it was published Monday, January 26th. So this was recently. This was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Okay. Marvel's Ultimate Universe will be reborn in May. ... Of course. And that's literally what the Rich Johnston, if you want to ask somebody about it, Rich Johnston wrote this. Now, Rich Johnston was saying the same shit that me, you, and everybody else been saying. It did strike me as odd that Marvel Comics, who's been doing a lot of odd things as of late, would be bringing to an end the most successful publishing line they've had in a while. It also seems like they like to not like money, but no, I'm not here for an endorsement deal. So there. The new Ultimate Universe for reasons of creative integrity. I mean, this is Marvel Comics, for goodness sake. Come on. And it seems that all is well now with the world and normal business has returned as Marvel Comics offers the following news. The end of the Ultimate Universe is here, but its legacy will live on as the Ultimate Universe ends. May's Reborn Ultimate Impact reveals how the Ultimate Universe's legacy will reverberate across the Marvel Universe. May 2026. Marvel relaunched the Ultimate line in 2023. Great, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Y'all knows about the Maker and how the Maker made this whole little universe. So I ain't no superheroes in it, but superheroes like life in Jurassic Park find a way. And we got Ultimate X-Men, The Ultimates, Ultimate Wolverine, Ultimate Spider-Man, and of course, Ultimate Black Panther. This line has been critically acclaimed and commercially very successful. But Bleeding Cool scooped the news that last year Marvel confirmed it will conclude in April 2026. That's just 1 month. So it's only going to be gone for 1 month. So it was all to get Muzz hyped and shit and just be like, oh no, they're ending the universe. Because see, now that may or may not potentially render the op-ed I'm about to give moot. This comic ended on what I like to call a low note. And the low note was, okay, you created some things during this story that needed to be irrevocably solved, resolved. And in the resolution, though a lot of it did get resolved, much of it did not. But in the resolution, you still raised questions and moments. Okay? Brian Edward Hill and Stefano Caselli on writing and ink, respectively, have mainly, with little help from Carlos Naito on art every now and again, dropped us a very different universe for the Black Panther. We go through this Khonshu thing for like the first 10 issues. And that storyline, for the most part, got resolved, but it left many people unsatisfied. That's it? What's going to be Ra's reaction to his brother being locked up? You get locked up too. And that's all we see of them. Okay, moving on. We find out some things about vibranium in the Ultimate Universe, that it is a conduit for another race to enter our world. They're called the progenitors. We all know this. Everybody has read this 24 issue series, and the progenitors made it possible for T'Challa, because he is their conduit, to I'm sorry. To be manipulated into siring them, or their what the Black Panther himself referred to as a bastard. If I read deeper into it, do I see nuances of what Brian Hill is really trying to say with that child? Yes. Yes, I do see the nuances and I appreciate them, but they are precisely that, nuances. You can only do so much, especially when you getting paid. And as I've learned from discussing things with artists, you either do what they say, but they ain't gonna chastise you, because you're an artist. You're gonna get work anywhere, but you ain't gonna get no work from them. So in order to keep a professional working relationship, we sometimes as artists have to do things we don't really want to do, because we want to be able to continue working with a certain entity. That's it. That's what it is. What? What? You were expecting some deep, engaging conversation about it? No, that's it. If you want to continue to keep working for these people over here, you gonna do what them people want. And oh, we want to dazzle the crowd. We're gonna just suddenly cancel everything and then bring it back next month. Okay. That scare, as it were, might be enough. Ooh, look, the little light came on. Might be enough to let some people be like, okay, I had enough of this. But then it might be enough to make other people go, ooh, this is fascinating. What else do they have on the plate for the ultimate line? The obvious question. Are we going to continue to get a monthly dose of Ultimate Black Panther whenever you're done resolving whatever you're resolving with Ultimate Endgame? Are we going to see any more of the Black Panther in the 616 universe? It's like I said before. I I fear very much that the character of the Black Panther as we know and appreciate it um is getting ready to go on a hiatus. Not not a hiatus that we want, but we're not going to be able to say, we've said all that we can say. What else can we say? Collectively, as a group of people who love and appreciate the character of the Black Panther as it was meant to be enjoyed primarily, but we got to deal with all of this permutation. I said that in a lot of the press junkie for this live. Permutation. Do we know the meaning of the word permutation? To analyze and, if necessary, change. That is precisely why I use the word permutation, because the character of the Black Panther has been analyzed and is going through changes. Some of those changes are positive for the most part. Black Panther Intergalactic, I can confess I'm enjoying thus far. Is here as an artist, and let me say, as artists go, Brian Edward Hill is a fantastic writer, and it's not no shade on him. I don't enjoy every story I read from every artist I read it from. It don't mean I don't like that artist anymore. My favorite athlete cannot always hit a home run. My favorite fighter cannot always win every bout. And that's all it is. At least that's how I'm regarding it. I'm not just like, oh, you 100% failed me. I hate you. I'll never. He didn't do that. He didn't do the JR thing. He didn't do that. It's nowhere near that. You know, sometimes it's just, some people just be looking for stuff to be upset about. And it's not that serious. It's not a good story. That's all I'm saying. Period. And I'll die on that hill if need be. But it's not a good story. And it's not a good resolution to all the stuff's going on, unless you plan to continue this same story when everything comes back to what it's supposed to be. Or if it becomes something different, you know, are we just like, okay, them 24 issues is something else, we're gonna move forward with something different? That would be cool, but then once again, that's a blemish. Do we want to deal with a blemish? It is what it is, right? Okay. My man Theo is in the building. Brother Theo is speaking on, I'm assuming, the soon to be hiatus of T'Challa. Is pointing in the direction that this current editorial staff does not know what to do with him. If they want to do something with him, 60th anniversary seems like they felt obligated to do something, but didn't really want to. That's the kind of energy, because I see it. They did it a couple years ago with Luke Cage when he had his anniversary. They did it like unceremoniously. Is how I feel. And when you say you're making a 60th anniversary, and I don't really want to damn you, Theo. If you say you're making a 60th anniversary book, it should be about that character, not peripherally, directly. I should be able to look in that book, and 2 or 3 pages in, T'Challa should be saying something to somebody, or somebody should be doing something to get at him or get to him or get away from him or something. He should be involved heavily. It's his anniversary. Can you imagine if Batman's 85th anniversary consisted of stories about Nightwing, Damian, Signal, Harley Quinn? You celebrating Batman, not the Batman universe or supporting cast or family. Right? Yeah, yay or nay. So feel me. All I'm saying is, and y'all know what I'm saying. Everybody in this chat know what I'm saying. Okay, you wouldn't do that with the characters. The Trinity wouldn't get treated like that. The big three wouldn't get treated like that. Hell, Al Simmons wouldn't get treated like that. The story would be about the titular character, not about people related to him, not about people he trained, not about people he brought up, not about his sister, not about his wannabe replacements, not about his mama, not about his uncle. Is that too much to ask? Am I asking too much to have a 60th anniversary book about the character that the 60th anniversary is for? See, that means writers, editors focus more on the legacy of the Black Panther than the Black Panther himself. You don't do that with no other character. Hell, you don't even do that with the Phantom. And the Phantom is about legacy. We still stay focused on Kit Walker. Why we can't do that with T'Challa? Why? Why is that? Because, like Theo said, they don't know what to do with him. Ask, and you shall receive. Y'all coming through, creeping and poking and peeking and sneaking and looking at me, at Theo, at other folks. And we know you see us because your responses and the movements you make tell us you see us. But maybe perhaps they have something in writing that says we can't do that. We won't do that. But anyway, I have waxed negative long enough. This 24 issue series was already in a long box before this video. I had to go back in the long box and pull it out. And guess what? This is the top to the long box. It's got that on the side of the box, it's got that Nation Under Our Feet. T'Challa standing there. The first issue of the Ta-Nehisi Coates run. There we go. Nah. Where was it's the result? That's when they go in boxes for me. When the story's resolved, done, and over into the box, you go. Because we don't, that's how you have a whole bunch. Because I used to have like random comics all littered hither and thither, but you gotta put them away when you're done. Put them away. I had to catalog them later, but you know how it go. A collector's work is never done. Intergalactic, or if you prefer, I got the variant too. I threw a picture of that up on TikTok. I was like, damn, it got a couple hundred. That cool. I mean, and it was a couple hundred quick. You know what I'm saying? So he's trending. Why? I feel like it's like mandatory that they put the Black Panther in hibernation for a number of years, because if they don't do it, I don't know, the bees are gonna die, and the Cleveland Browns will win a Super Bowl, and and every spider will instantly no longer be venomous, and so they can't catch flies, and flies overrun the earth, and we get a fly pestilence. I Is that what's going to happen if you don't have if you have a consecutive run of the Black Panther that lasts longer than 75 issues? I do not know. They certainly act like it. They act like they can't. They can't do nothing for it, brother, man. I can't do nothing for you, man. Rock this shit, homie. Rock this shit, homie. Oh, I see you. I see you. Anyway, Kamayo says they are removing T'Challa like they did for the first movie.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand that.
My AI is named T'Challa. Every time I say T'Challa, she perks up. So she'll be perking up a lot tonight. They done, and I be trying to not go there with it. Like, what other explanation is it, or is it a combination? Because it could be a combination. It could be a combination of them simply not understanding how to consistently write that character or how to change that character up. Here, just off the top of my head, here's some ideas. What they're doing right now in Black Panther Intergalactic is great. Have him go do, because this is what we've been saying, right? Right? This is what we've been asking for. Let him go on a couple of planet hopping adventures. Let him come in contact with quote unquote omnipotent beings or powerfully cosmic beings and hang out and see how his tech and his intellect, not to mention his skills, fare against some of the most powerful beings in the universe. If you got to come at them with firepower, just show us how powerful, like we did in Imperial. Show us how powerful the Wakandan fleet is. Show us how effective their tactics and strategies are. You know what I mean? That could run for 15, 20 issues at least. And then give him a personal story arc. If you want to break him down to the very last compound of him, do it like it was done with Daredevil in the Born Again comic book series. But wait, we've done that before a couple of times with him. So let's slow down. We can put him in an adventure on a planet with somebody or some people, and he can do the same thing he did when he was in the Meridian Diadem in Avengers. Let me help these people, show them how to rise up and be strong. And if they really want to, we can annex them into the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. And that way, he's peacefully expanding his empire. You ain't got to conquer. That's the way of these people. They're ungoverned and savage. The only thing they know is how to swindle and brutalize and conquer and maim and pillage. Ain't never thought once, let's talk. Let's do it Federation style. Let's negotiate. You got something I want, and maybe I could give you something that you want. Let vibranium be the negotiating tool. And we could do that. We could put him on the Bozeman and have him flying throughout the universe on adventures. See, I didn't do a whole bunch of thinking. I put that was freestyle off the top of my head. And that's at least a good 40, 50 issues. You don't know what to do, or you don't want to do nothing. And y'all done did this all your life over at Marvel. It's a spectator sport for me. So I know y'all got to be better at concocting. No? I don't know. But I am enjoying Black Panther Intergalactic. And even though it's Black Panther Intergalactic, we still got a touch of the terrestrial in the form of the artificial intelligences of Kazar and Zabu in issue number 1. It behaved like Kazar. It behaved like Zabu. But then him tearing it apart or cutting into it made him see that it wasn't them. So I'm not tripping. I'm not on an alternate planet or a universe or something like that. That's not really the real Kazar and Zabu, and took them apart, literally, finding out they're very sophisticated beings. And we find out Femi Daddy, Uite, is the one that made this whole artificial environment, you know what I'm saying? And it's just conducting an experiment and letting it run free. Meanwhile, we got Otto, Gunther, Black Tavius, Doctor. So his villain name would be his villain name would be Dr. Blacktopus. Dr. Blacktopus. Mr. Lavalle, I'm just getting in where I fit in, sir. Mario says it was confirmed by some of the writers and Marvel editorial. Okay. That benefits us to a degree, as we're the ones primarily talking about anything Black Panther related consistently. Kamayo says, wait, what if 616 T'Challa is the variant? You mean cinematically? If 616 Black Panther is the Black Panther that we're going to see cinematically, they can't be fucking around. They can't. If you don't know what to do, ask somebody. Ask Theo. If you don't know Marvel, if you don't know what to do, ask somebody. Okay. Real quick, just so because I know my shit's floating out in the ether now, let me say this. If you are going to make 616 Black Panther the next cinematic Black Panther, you definitely have to showcase his intellect. Have to. That's not even negotiable. He's got to be the smartest cat or one of the smartest cats in the room, period. If you ain't rocking him like that, if you ain't putting him next to Tony Stark, out thinking Tony Stark, coming up with ideas Tony Stark should have came up with 5 minutes ago, if it ain't that one, number 2, he got to be putting hands on everybody to the point where, like on Avengers Earth's Mightiest, I just pull up and start housing everybody. Bah, 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 bah. And then when I'm done, I'm like, okay, that's enough. I surrender. I've seen what I need to see. He's got to have that air of, I know something you don't. And Brother Mathis played him beautifully in Avengers Assemble. Enjoyed it. Have always enjoyed his version of, if we doing that, all right. But don't bring me no milk toast, salty, watered down, zesty ass Black Panther that don't look nothing like the one in the 616. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm let you know in advance. I ain't got nothing to gain. I ain't suckling on the teat of ooh, I want to be damned. Cause stuff like this come and go, and you gonna go if you keep doing the same stuff that you're doing. Respectfully, yours truly. Anyway, what you say, Theo? They better stick that landing. What he said. You better stick that landing. But anyway, there's an artificial T'Challa in Intergalactic. Just pulled up. Hey, how you doing? Who is you, dog? You know, that's what Eric, because he popped up at the end of the first issue. And the second issue, him and M'Baku are hanging out, and M'Baku's like, you T'Challa, but you don't act like the T'Challa, and you look different, dog. You know what I'm saying? And see, same situation. Come on, yo. He couldn't be the real one. We know that's the artificial. He couldn't be the real one because the one we done roll with, he done been through shadow physics and Imperial War and all. Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? Don't turn it into no clone situation. All right. We have dealt with multiple Black Panthers, one being from a different timeline. We've done that dance. Give me something different. Okay. Are we doing that stuff like how millennials do? They can't think of nothing better to do, so they just kind of try to rehash old stuff and make it look like it's new. Don't do that. Just the caveat. I ain't telling you what to do. Just the caveat. I'm just hoping we do something different with M'Baku. I'd love a united Wakanda for once. That would be nice if all of the tribes could get along and play, or the Jabari could get along and play nice with everybody else. What could they do here on Earth? Kind of makes you wonder. But yeah, man, it's only 4 issues. So this too beggars the question. What's gonna happen when? Oh, I forgot to mention, there are like these antibodies that when there's something that don't belong in the environment where he's at, they come to devour it and eat it up and take it away. You know, it's like white blood cells. You know what I'm saying? And so is it a functioning organism? You know what I'm saying? It seems to have a system about it that mimics many of the functions of the humanoid body. So that would be a very deep cut, and I would be impressed by that. So far, I'm pretty. Oh, shouts out to this cover. Somebody liked Spider-Man 2. Remember Spider-Man 2 when Doc Ock grabbed Spider-Man by the head like that? So I feel like somebody like, oh, and I forgot to mention the Panther knot That's another artificial being. What if Juggernaut and the Black Panther were combined into one being? That's what the Panther Knot is. I'm gonna need an action figure. It'd be real easy to do with a Juggernaut if you can find a way to make ears, and then the rest is just a paint job. Yeah, that would be a Panther Knot. That would kick ass. Oh, he agrees with me. We don't need all of this clone stuff going on, man. Just tell your story and tell it with one character. I think that's I think that's what they calling it, ain't it? A Panther Knot. Let me get to that there. How you do that there? Oh, she right there. Combines all the good shit. You know what I'm saying? And it looks real easy to do from a kit bash standpoint. You know what I'm saying? He got the black showing and the rest of is painted blue. So easy to do. And then just paint the brown part skin color. Oh yeah, this would be super easy. The ears to me would be the biggest thing. You could cover the face up. You can make, yeah. Oh yeah, that would be an easy one to do. Easy work to do. Light work. Light work. Oh, you going nuts on the Tuskegee tip. Gotcha. Okay. Here we go. Anansi is in the building. Hello, sir. Also, what if Black Panther and Blue Marvel were fused into one character? Like DC Comics had a storyline where Batman and Superman were fused into one character. Well, like the amalgams that I've been talking much of lately, where where Superman and Captain America were one amalgam called the Super Soldier. So, yeah. Yes, I saw them, sir. I saw them. Will do. He already got a bunch already. Hugh. So yeah. Do we want, and this is the bigger question. Ain't what's a Panther not? No, he was big and buff and burly. Maybe yeah, that is now not even remotely Star Panther. Or maybe I don't know. Whatever he is, he looked infused with the power of Citrek and vibranium. Because he was a big boy. Anywho's. Oh, you saying ain't that Star Panther? Well, power wise, power set wise, yeah, that is definitely Star Panther. Anywho, what I was getting at, boy, let me at least turn the sound down because my stuff don't stop rocking for nothing, man. Just constant, folks hitting the brother up all day long. There we go. All right. I am going to turn my sound down. There. So we don't keep getting interrupted by the sounds. Anyways, what I wanted to say real quick was I think that it is very crucial that we continue to let them folks know how you feel about their treatment of your character and why they should care about making that character more accessible and making that character more reoccurring. And if that is 100% not their goal and it's not purposeful or it's not a lack of creativity, then I apologize. But if it ain't, I'm not the person who's not going to say what should be said. You feel me? Because it's too much of that. And people calling themselves leaders, and being a part of being a leader is being able to make tough decisions. And a lot of people are scared to make tough decisions because they're worried about what people are going to think. And I'm not talking about from the writer creator side. I'm talking about from the side of people like myself and from the side of people like Theo. Man, at the risk of setting ourselves back, we say what needs to be said. At the risk of not getting no endorsements, it might sound corny and it might sound like a lie, but I promise, I mean every word of it. I would rather retain my soul than be endorsed, because that feel like pimping. You know what I'm saying? I give you what you want, but you got to do what I say do when I say do it, and say what I say when I say it. Feel like a 304. A 304 can see a pimp's gators, but a 304 can't see the pimping. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. If you can't meet me where I'm at and understand, that's what keeps you honest, that's what you engage, that's what keeps you creative. Why would you not want something spurring you and jarring you on to create? Think of me like that drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket. I am hard, but I am fair. You know what I'm saying? You gon' catch it. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, hoorah, atta boy. Outstanding work is what I will say to you. And I ain't got no problem saying it. Ask Joe Illich. I ain't got no problem saying it. Ask Jonathan Mayberry. I ain't got no problem saying it. Ask Dave Peppos. All right? If you doing what you're supposed to be doing, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. But if you playing fast and loose, I'm going to talk about that too. And if that means I don't get to endorse your shit, I don't get to endorse your shit. But I retains my soul. And that's where I'm at with it. That's the hill I'm going to die on. You know what I'm saying? Fuck being fake. I'm not him. I can't do it. I can't. I can't do that, man. I go, yeah, maybe Marvel just thinking about what they want to do. And nah. One thing I can guarantee you, if you ever interact with me, if you ever talk to me in person, face to face, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you about what I think how you look. I ain't gonna do it in no mean way, but like prominent features on a person just stand out to me. Like people with big, great, big witchcraft looking moles on their face. That's you, you. I had an auntie that had a big old mole, but it looked cute on her because it was in the right place. You know what I mean? It like it was right there. You know what I'm saying? Right over here. So it didn't, because you didn't get it, and it didn't stand all the way out here. You know what I mean? It was, but you knew it was there. So, but them people that have it right here, I saw a gal had one in her nostril. I shit you not. A mole in her nostril. Blowing your nose must be a chore, is what I thought to myself. I ain't say it out loud. I wanted to, but in my mind, I was just like, nah, D, she might be sensitive about that. You might catch a elbow to your chin because she was short. But yeah, y'all keep talking to these folks out here. I love what y'all doing out here, talking to these folks about Black Panther. I feel like, and y'all can stop me if I'm capping, I feel like me telling stories to y'all in older videos, and I'm giving y'all information and insight about T'Challa and Black Panther and Wakanda lore and all of that kind of stuff, and y'all just take it and y'all run with it. And am I stepping over my boundaries to say I'm proud of y'all? Is that, me being, am I full of myself, or am I, what I'm saying? Help me out. What I'm saying? Like I said, if I dish it out, I can take it, but I don't want to feel like I'm, being this overblown person, I guess. But I try to remain consistent because I know that for as many people out there who are not listening or not being edutained, there are just as many people out there who are. And to those of y'all who are edutained by me, thank you. Appreciate you. I am always grateful for anybody. I'm grateful for if it's 40, if it's 14, or if it's 4 people in here. I'm grateful for whoever pull up. You know what I'm saying? And receive the knowledge gladly. Like it's saying in the Bible, they gladly received the word. You know what I'm saying? That means you didn't have no beef with it. You was like, makes perfect sense to me too. And you see, and I'm not saying it. I swear I ain't saying it to be no blowhard or nothing like that. I'm saying it because back in the days when they had oracles and people that predicted and did stuff like that, folks listened to what the oracle had to say, and the mugs that didn't listen to the mugs, they ended up suffering some kind of tragedy. And the oracle was there to say, remember when I said to you. That's all I do. Remember when I said not recasting the character was a bad idea. And everybody and their mama was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Can't you let these people grieve in peace? Okay. You had to eat that story because you didn't have no choice. Because your mama taught you it's mean to say bad things to people when they grieving. 2 years later, you still grieving. 3 years later, you still grieving. Get a damn therapist. Or go see your therapist if you have one. Internalize the damn grief like all the rest of us do when we lose somebody and make it a part of us. So then that way we never lose that person. Didn't do that. Kept talking about it and kept talking about it and kept talking about it. Then what happened? Made another movie. Didn't make no $1 billion off top. Let's make another one. What the hell for? For the culture. If it's truly for the culture, what would it hurt to listen to the culture? Oh, now you're listening. Now that the worm has turned and different things are happening now, and it's like, oh, wait, we can't just keep talking about vibranium and not bring the titular character out of the person that has the most vibranium on the planet Earth. M'Baku ain't him. Shuri ain't her. One character that you need. You need that character for so much stuff to make sense. If you had a T'Challa in your movie that wasn't a bastard child, you could justify the teaming up, wait for it, of Dr. Doom and Namor. Because you know what? They had a whole comic book based on Dr. Doom and Namor teaming up. Well, not actually teaming up, but I got you under my thumb. And if you want your kingdom to survive, you'll do what I tell you to do. Perfectly good stories not happening. And Dr. Doom and Namor were part of the cabal that ambushed the Black Panther. Another reason they could get together. But if you ain't got, oh, you just gonna have them ambush Shuri and she's gonna play that role and ain't nobody gonna go and avenge her. Oh, M'Baku gonna do it. Oh no, the universe, an incursion will occur before that happens. So, yeah, everybody running up in Wakanda now. Wakanda can't repel no invaders. No, they can't be invincible. They can't be undefeated. We have to show them broken and destroyed. Because damn, a black nation looks superior to Europe, USA. We don't want to see that. We don't even want to see that cinematically. Be vocal, be loud, tell them how you feel about what they're doing with the character that you love. Okay. And that's my op-ed, y'all. That's it. Okay. Again, enjoyed this book. Looking forward to number 3. I think wait a minute, hang on. That is your number 3. T'Challa faces down a planet of villains. For each he defeats, another takes its place, and the power behind them all still awaits its chance to beat the king. His only hope is to finally reunite with his sister Shuri and the orphaned boy Femi. And only by working together will all 3 have any chance of surviving. That will be on sale next month, which is next week. Well, 2 weeks, I think. And that's what's going down with the character of the Black Panther. I'm like I said, looking forward to 3 because it sounds like it's going to be a hoot. Also, in other news, I will be bringing you 2 comic book reviews for next week's Wednesday Deep Dive. And that is, you ready? You ready? You ready? Boom! Absolute Batman, issue 16. It is another Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman team up. Shh, don't say nothing. I also got the variant cover. I liked that cover, so I'm like, I'm gonna get that one too. Shh. And also, Absolute Wonder Woman, number 16. That on the cover is Absolute Zatanna. And just like you'd expect, Absolute Zatanna is giving Wonder Woman fits. I will be bringing y'all reviews on those comics this weekend. Make sure y'all pull up tomorrow for the Thursday live that is going to include okay. The evil forces that be are saying to me, wrap it up, boy. Okay. Pull up, y'all, tomorrow, Thursday. Might be a lot of hard-hitting, controversial topics, but hey, I'm known for what that represents. And Friday, me and Theo gonna be pulling up as always for the vibe where you get into it and do it, but you do it live style. So y'all make sure that y'all pull up for the pull up. I am going to hit the last couple comments and then I'm gonna bounce. They made Wakanda into the mid card in WWE. Damn. Great, in the build better late than never, brother. I'm reading that as soon as I get home. I think you're referring to Absolute Batman. Yeah, it's good. It's a pretty good read. Wakanda went from wrestling in the main event at WrestleMania to wrestling for the Speed Championship. Damn. Dang. Now I want a Panther knot. And apparently, according to my phone, you already got one, at least in the AI world. Huh? Make your dreams come true. Make your dreams come true. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and kick rocks. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I'll be coming at y'all tomorrow. So until then, y'all be good and be good to each other. Out.